Drew shows up at the Metro Court pool for the evening. Willow is already in the pool with Wiley, and he's surprised to see them here rather than at the Quartermains. She says Wiley likes the hotel pool better. Plus, it's a beautiful night. Nina walks in on her phone arguing with someone about Drew, offering them a low rate to advertise on gym equipment, saying Crimson is an upscale magazine. She looks over and sees Drew take his shirt off and jump into the pool. Nina ends up standing back and watches Wiley, Willow, and Drew having fun in the pool. Nina decides to walk over and runs into Gio, who drops his stack of towels. She says she's sorry and helps him pick up the towels. Wiley sees her and runs over to his grandma. She says he's gotten so big, and they hug after she wraps the wet boy in a towel. Both Drew and Willow smile. Willow gets out of the pool to greet Nina, and Wiley asks if his grandma going to come swimming. Nina laughs she's not dressed for it, and she came here to find his Uncle Drew. Drew gets out and asks Nina what she wants. Willow tells Wiley that he smells like chlorine, and Drew says he read about a cream in Crimson that you can rub on to keep the smell off you. Nina smiles at him. Drew takes Wiley into the pool to let Willow and Nina talk. Willow says it seems she and Drew are getting along. Nina says she's all for keeping the peace. As they watch Drew play with Wiley, Willow talks about how great he is with the kids. Nina admits she's never seen Drew like this. They sit down, and Nina tells her all about the all-natural cream Drew mentioned, and she says the magazine has a couple of boxes in storage, and she can send her some. Nina realizes she may have overdone it just then, as she doesn't need boxes of product. But Willow says it's okay. Nina looks over at Drew in the pool, who looks back at her. Later, Willow tells Wiley that they have to get home as she and Daddy have a date. Nina says she probably needs to get back to Crimson, but tells Wiley it was great spending time with him. Wiley wants to do it again. Nina tells him she hopes he and Amelia have lots of fun this summer and lots of adventures. Nina tells Willow it was nice seeing her, and Willow says the same, and also that Wiley loved this. Nina heads back to Crimson and in the pool. Dew looks pleased. Dex shows up and gets a towel from Gio, and they chat about him working at the pool for the summer. Their talk turns to the upcoming NBA Finals, and Dex gives him advice that the lifeguard is a big sports fan, so if his team beats hers, they'll gloat. Dex stops over to see Trina and Joss and asks about Joss' first day on the job. She sees his stitches are out, and Trina says she heard about what happened, and it's insane. Trina decides to go grab an iced tea and let them catch up. Trina runs right into Gio, who jokes today he's a human bumper car and is sorry. He says he was going to check in with Joss, but Trina suggests he hold off. She explains Joss and Dex used to be together, but now aren't and maybe are going to patch things up. Gio asks why they broke up. She says it has something to do with Joss' ex-stepfather, Sonny Corinthos, who is awful. Gio says his family thinks his uncle Sonny is second to the Pope. Trina says, "Uncle?" He explains he's not really his uncle, but has been very good to him. Trina lets him know that everyone in Port Charles has an opinion of Sonny, and not all of them are good. He changes the subject to the funny look she had on her face when they met, and asks if they'd met before. Meanwhile, Dex talks with Joss and tells her about his talk with Sonny, who says he's leaving the bad blood behind them. Joss says she can finally breathe again, and it's a fair trade given he didn't press charges. Dex is just ready to move forward and leave Sonny behind him. Gino had to excuse himself to work, then gets back to Trina and asks again if they'd met before. Trina says they haven't, but as she looks at him out of the corner of her eye, he looks like someone she used to be close to. Gio asks why they aren't close anymore. She explains he died. Gino feels like an idiot, and Trina runs off. Trina returns later, and Joss asks if Gio said something wrong, and if so, she can beat him up. Trina says Gio didn't say anything wrong. It's just that sometimes memories of Spencer hit her. Trina decides to go home for some alone time, and Joss lets her know she's here for her. Trina leaves, and Dex asks Joss if Trina is all right. Joss says not at the moment, but she will be, and grief just snuck up on her. Dex says they'd all had some big losses lately, and every moment is precious, and life is short. Dex asks Joss to have dinner with him.